Hi members. Members with gaming would know the enormous compliance obligations we do, the enormous harm minimisation measures we've taken here in South Australia. I'm not convinced that gets anywhere near enough credit. Some of the issues we have here are not what's experienced in other jurisdictions. And Anna, I know this takes up a lot of your time. It's probably worth reminding members, but more importantly the wider community, exactly what sets us apart from every other jurisdiction in Australia.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that we lead the nation in terms of harm minimisation around poker machines and gaming rooms. Certainly we're seen as the pin-up state, I think, by every other jurisdiction around the nation. We have a whole suite of measures in place. So whilst you've got other jurisdictions that are just looking at one blunt tool, for example, of how to approach harm minimisation in the space, we have a whole suite of measures that the other jurisdictions don't have. So, and these things have been in place for some time, and we are now, for example, the only place that also has a facial recognition system set up. So we have arms, of course, we have mandatory training, and there are 3 levels of that training, and that's recurring training, so it doesn't lapse. We have an early intervention agency, certainly only jurisdiction in the nation to have that, and certainly a number of the regulations and the gambling environment itself is probably one of the strictest across the nation. So yeah, certainly we often receive requests for advice, and we have other states coming to us to have a look at what we do here simply because we do it so well.
And there's 2 reasons why we raise those points. First and foremost, what governments need to remember is this is all funded by industry. It's funded by our members. The government aren't the ones putting their hands in their pocket. And the other thing is, when they're making draconian laws, remember what we do here in South Australia. We are nation leading in what we do, and we think it's important that's recognised by the decision makers. One of the great things is that we've seen now the government at the AHA's request put money into winter tourism, and Anna, the accommodation numbers going forward and what's coming up is really positive.
Yeah, absolutely. As a lot of you will have heard, Live Golf was just announced. That's coming up next year. Really from, well, December onwards with the test, a huge win. We know that that's going to be enormous. We saw just recently with the final for the football, occupancy rates across not just the CBD but also Greater Adelaide were over 90%. So we're really moving into that period now. Spring has sprung, and really we can look forward to an enormous calendar of events.